Hey team, I want to walk through some of the feedback forms that we have here. These feedback forms will be at every event during a mission week. Those of you who've done this before, no need to watch this, but those of you who are newer to speaking during a mission week, they are very different in how we land talks. So like I said, all these will be at every event with a pen, so everyone will have access to one of these. And I'm asking that everyone who's speaking craft their message with this being a landing point, because discipleship is extremely important to us in the campus ministries, and in order for them to follow up meaningfully, they need the most meaningful feedback. So I'll walk through what these cards are. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me individually or ask someone on the team that you're with. So you'll see there are different categories. There's name, email, count me in with a box, tell me more with a box, and a place for questions. So first I'll start with count me in. A lot of people have wanted to change this to say, I prayed to start a relationship with Jesus Christ today, and have it be much more closed in on what's actually happening there, and they say this is too vague. This is vague for a reason. There's a lot of talks given, 15 talks throughout most mission weeks, and not all of the talks lend themselves to that type of an invitation. So during a science talk, it may be harder to find a way to get to that invitation of Jesus died for your sins type thing. Some can do it, but it might be more difficult. We don't want you to grind gears to get to an invitation in a talk. So it's up to you as the speaker, as you craft your talk, as you work through this, to craft it in a way that you define what count me in means. And this allows you to have much more say in how the talk ends, and to not have any pressure to land it a certain way. And so you create the definition that during your talk for what count me in is, and then you fit people into those categories. What this does show, though, is it helps us categorize people and prioritize people in our follow-up. So we know if we categorize count me in as some type of commitment or some type of further step or commitment to look into this, to Christianity, we know that someone that ticks count me in will go to the high priority list when we're sorting out hundreds of contacts for follow-up. Count me in will be contacted first because they were in that vicinity of a positive response toward God. We want to make sure that we talk to them. Tell me more is if someone wants to follow up and ask more questions personally and have like a meetup to ask their questions. And then the comments and feedback is where we get a lot of the questions for the Q&A time. So I'll walk through what it looks like when I do one of these. So this is just off the cuff, but when I land a talk in such a way that, say I landed it in a way that someone was given a personal invitation to receive forgiveness through Christ, put their faith in Him, their trust in Him, and they actually I even led a prayer of response to become a Christian. I might say something like this after I get done praying. Say, thank you for your graciousness in listening. I want to just point out the cards on your tables. If everyone can grab a pen and a card, I would love to hear your feedback. You might have questions, which if you write your question here, someone will be around to gather them soon, and we'll take these questions during the Q&A time. But there's also just feedback. If you thought this talk was horrible, that's fine. I'd love to hear any critical feedback you have. And so feel free to fill that out. There's also a couple other sections on this card. There's tell me more and count me in. If you have a question, you can write your question here, and you want someone to contact you to get in you maybe want someone to take you out to coffee and talk through your question. Feel free to tell me more, put your info down. Someone will get in touch with you and talk through whatever it is you want to talk about. It might be on this topic, it may be a totally different topic, that's fine. So let's tell me more. If you prayed with me that prayer to start this relationship with God, I want you to take count me in. And if that's you, someone will put your contact info as well. Someone will contact you to follow up and say more about what it means to actually have this relationship and kind of explain that more and talk to you about where you're at with that. So why don't you fill the cards, music's going to start, fill the cards, and someone will be around and we'll get into Q&A. Okay, so that's how I'll kind of do the cards. But I'm also aware of this. Even if someone ticks count me in off of an invitation like that and clarifying the category even, we're still fully aware that they may not become a Christian. They may have count me in and didn't mean it in that way. And so again, these cards are not for us to tally how many Christians we had or how many prayers were prayed. We had 100 prayers prayed. No, they are meant to categorize people in order to have the most meaningful follow-up. So if you just help us with that, that'd be really great. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, ask someone on the team, fire me an email or a call, or talk to me during the week, or whoever is that's leading, and we'll go from there. Yep. So please, again, as you're crafting your talks, please land with the feedback forms, and that's what we call them. We don't call them response cards. We call them feedback forms. Oops. There it goes. Thanks. Bye.